Hilchais Bayrer. We're in the middle of Parag Gimel. We are up to Sif Mem Gimel. Sif Mem Gimel is very unique as we sort of transition over here from what we would call regular shells, peels, and the like to artificial shells, peels, and the like. A little bit of a sidestep over here in Sif Mem Gimel. You're coming to eat candies. Can you pass me a fruit roll up, please? Thank you. Haba lechol sukariyot uchadoimem. Kisheniyar hatifa mudvak bahem, in which the paper is stuck to it. Al yoitzien min haniyar. Thank you. Do not remove it from the paper. Ella samach lachilasan. Mechashash iser breiram. Zakrav Shlomo Zalman. If you look at note Kuf Chav Ches, Shamati from Shlomo Zalman. She'im dovka sukaria latifasa. If the candy is stuck to the wrapper, hu daimel klipa. It's like a shell. It's like a peel. V'meinoi dvuka latifa mistaver. She'in basarasa shel zem mishum isabreir. That's not a problem. The choshev koitzi chafetz min hakis oy hakufsa. But then he continues that if there's many candies and you want to remove them all, could be even that, even if it's not attached, is called bayrer. So first of all, the Archalkim, I believe this is Rameshi, talks about salami, and you want to remove the paper off the salami, which would be the shayla, the paper is stuck onto the salami. I believe Rameshi there says it's not called bayrer. So first of all, the whole issue here would only be for non-miyat. If you're doing it right before your suda, there's no problem. The problem is only if it's for non-miyad, and that's where Shlomo Zalman is being machmir. There are mikilim. Again, I thought it was Ramesha, but at the moment, don't quote me because he's not quoting Ramesha as being chaylik, so I'm a little bit nervous about that one. We'll have to look it up. But I just wanted to point out a very practical application. We just have to have fruit roll-ups over here. He just said, let's say I have a box of 100 fruit roll-ups. Normal case. And I want to have a Shabbos party. So what do you want to do? The kid's sitting there opening up all the fruit roll-ups. What's going to happen? What happen is you're going to have flappers. So you want to just open it up, and then you're going to leave them out like this. He ended off that footnote and he says, if you're taking a lot of them out of a wrapper, even though it's not stuck to the wrapper, he wants to be machmir. Efshir the chashav bayra afilu eina atifa dvuka. It's a shtick of wild because a second ago he just told me it's like taking something out of your pocket, which l'chayr it is. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just bringing out his chiddush. Exactly, 100%. Number one. Number two is l'chayr lefir shalom zalmin. This would be a problem of bayrer if you're not doing it for miyad. This is called an atifa that is stuck. Now, I don't know a case why you would open it up not for miyad. Don't know. I didn't say all 100 for miyad. I said I don't know why you would open it up not for miyad, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know a case. But it's just to point out the level of chiddush here. He's learning if you go like this and you nice and gently take it off like an adult and you don't lose any of the plastic. That was a shayla of bayer. It was mutter because it's clearly for miyad. But yeah, okay, just to point out what he's saying, that's a Zalman. I believe Ramesha is Chalik Dar Cholkim, and look it up. Let's move on. Sif Mem Dal. How you actually Archim, one is gas. We spoke about this many times, now we can see it inside. Vukala payers b'shvilam, and you want to peel fruit for the guest. Mishum kavaydam, for the guest's honor, who chavitz liklav yosmich lechilasan, more than they're going to eat. Mutter lahaisef liklav kafi ra'is einav, you're allowed to peel more. Says footnote Kov Chav Tas. Who does he quote? He quotes Ekseis Shulchan Rav Chaim Na B'Shem the Ben Ish Chai. Zog the Heilige Ben Ish Chai, because you're doing it for their covenant. Now look how far this goes. Says the Rebbe. Comes like Shemiras Shabbos to Efsher. It's an Efsher, but listen to his Efsher. She'avim yoideya, you know. She'orchin klal lo yoichlu min haperis. You have a date on Shabbos, and your daughter. So what do? You peel a bunch of oranges. You know the guy is not touching the oranges. He has never in the history of the world touched the orange. But you want to do it. Zokter Shemiras Zalman gam kein sharinon. Why? Mikivon, it goes into your kavana, fascinating vart. Mikivon shu kailev is abeirus litzayrech the archim, kidei lechabdam achshav. The Rebbe's coming. So what do you do when the Rebbe comes? You got to set up the whole table, the fruit and the dust. Everyone knows no one's touching it, but you have to set up the table. So that kavod is thing. V'yesh l'stapik. The ulai gam mutter likloif kidei litin la'oirech seidel aderech. Perhaps we could extend this even further. Perhaps it's mutter to peel for a guest for the way of the road. Afal pi shalo yochel zapirus rak lachar zeh. Kivan dachshav mechavdov bechavdei bekach. Because you're giving him honor by giving it to him right now. Harizeh la'alter. That is called the altar. He says it's not like what we find in the Shulchan Aruch. V'chulu, v'chulu. Anyways, a fascinating heter, and you see how far Shlomo Zalman was willing to take this vart of kavod. Sif, mem, hey. Shnei pine peir. So this is a fascinating kula again. You have two types of fruits. Shamunachim zal gavzeh, one's lying on top of the other. Kigon and avon munachim like shesifin. I'll tell you a similar case. Let's say you have two types of deli. You have your pastrami. I know for some deli users this is illegal to have them touching, but you have your pastrami lying and you have the turkey lying on top of it. Why? Because someone made it that way. So what do? You want to get rid of that turkey and you want to eat the pastrami. You want to eat the one on the bottom. Mutter lahasir es anavim. You're allowed to remove the anavim. That's the guy on the top. Al minas lagil l'shesifim. In order to reach the bottom. Quote to Bir Alacha, and he says it's mutter. Now he doesn't say it's only mutter from miyad. It's a good question. Ayin in the Bir Alacha, and it's not clear. He's not learning first miyad. You take off the bad for the good. Why let him take off the bad for the good? So if you're doing it for the altar, I would understand it more. Because then it's called the peel that you took off for miyad. He doesn't say miyad. Keep on reading. You'll see the contrast. Well, just keep on reading 1 second. Avol perus rikuvim. Let's say it's really psilas. Here's where you see this fine chilik between real psilas and fake psilas. Perus rikuvim. You have spoiled fruit to menach like perus taivim. Aser lahasir esarukayvin k'deilech with a taivim. What do you mean? I want to eat the turkey on the bottom and the pastrami on top is spoiled. I just flipped the case. I apologize. You're not allowed to take the top one off. Why? Because via its removal, it's a ticket of the guy underneath it. So what do? As we've seen, you spill it all out onto the ground. He doesn't say la'alter, and I'll just leave it as a sarach ian. I believe if you look at the Ber Halacha there, it is confusing. If you look back at Ha'ara Yud, when we mention this, which is what he sends you to a Ha'ara Yud, that's the case of stacks. That was Ha'ara Yud. Mutter aflach or zman. In Ha'ara Yud, he says it lahedya. And he says it's not similar, and he has a shtickle tear over here. That's how we'll leave it. Someone had a question? You had a question? No, we're good? Okay, Memvav. Someone here asked this recently. Mutter, litloish anavim me'eshkol. You're allowed to take off grapes. Shenikta min eitim b'yayim that was cut off from a tree during before Shabbos. Bavad sheitlash kelech ozen av an altar. You're only allowed to take off the grapes that you're going to eat right now. V'chen batzilitish bananot v'agvaniot. You're allowed to take off the banana from the stem, the tomato from its stem. Shari samach lachilasim min anavshalat. Aval yisha isa litlosh tamarim min eshkol. Some say tamarim have a different din. This gets involved in a different sugya of dash. At what point removing something from its stem is going to be iser dash? He says there are some who are machmer on tamarim, but we see all other items. He is dash, iser dash. No. It's not al-zbayr. It's not al-zbayr. He's saying al-iser dash. If you look at the footnote over here, if you look at footnote kufl amid beis, he's getting involved in the mulach of dash, and why is it altar? Okay, so this is a dash siga. It's a dash siga. He's being makel on dash altar. Two sigas converge over here. We're not really going to do this justice. Just 1 second. Look at Kuflam and Base Star. Kuflam and Base Star, when he said that you're allowed to take off the bananas and tomatoes. Ayin le'lar kufdal lechalik be'davar sharigilois lifroik bebayis be'davar sharigilos lefarkoi besadeh. This is the answer. If anyone ever wants to know why there is or there isn't dash on a malacha, this is the teretz. Now be careful with the words we just said. It's the derech to bring it with the branch near a lahatir. Now, that's the regular banana on its branch. Now, what if you got like this exotic banana that you bought the actual branch? L'chayra, that would be a problem. And I don't know if I've ever seen this, but I would envision some fancy kiddush that they want to make like the bananas look all cool. that they would cut off the actual branch and like mamish put it there. And now to take off the banana from its area would be fine, but take off from its thingy from the larger branch, that would be an Isser Dash. Fascinating. What's your question? You could just don't take it off the stem. Take the whole stem and put it on. Can't pluck them all. You can do it for a altar. That's a shayla. Is that called altar, which we have to learn? Anything that someone can eat right now or eat later, that might be called altar. If you want to know, you can't put them in the bowl and put in the fridge for shalosh shudas. In a chanami. That is exactly what he was machmir on. That's what he was machmir on. And with that, we move further. Mem zayin. Motor lechape is a big kartaset. What is a kartaset? A kartis is a card. So when you put the at the end of it, that just makes it like a plural cards. It's a card holder, a card file. Like a picture album, or a Gedolim card album, or a sticker album, all the wonders of children of nowadays, or people still play with them. If you're looking for that, you want to find whose yarte was this? The Taz. I don't know if they have the cuddle card of the Taz. You want to find who else's yarte was it? Your Salanter is a cuddle card. So you're looking through your whole album. You allowed to do that? Yes. Ve'ein bazeh misham iser breira. Gam. Im hotzi derech chipusa kartisha ino tzarech lachshav. You pull one out. Oh, shucks. I pulled out the Chasam Sefer. You're allowed to put it back. Kartisha hotzi mimkaimai. Now, what if you took it out? And now you got to put it back. You got to find the empty slot. Now, the albums are harder. It's more like a good old fashioned, like, the plastics, but not like, I'm thinking like a binder. Binders are a little bit easier because they're, whatever the case is, you're looking to put it back in its place. Yeah. You're allowed to look for its place for kartasik. This is important. And this grado, every gabayim have this. Gabayim have this. Gabayim still go old school index cards, right? So what do? You have your 4,000 index cards for all your members for the last 40 years. While the dead ones are still in there, no one will ever know. And you search out to give out your 6 aliyahs. So you took a 9 because you never know. Okay, nachamal. And then after leaning, what do you do with the cards? You want to put it back. You don't just put them back in. You want to put it back with. Well, that was extreme. I was going to say Kohen Levi Yisrael. You went alphabetical order on me. Okay, you're Baltimore. Obviously, coming from what? How are you going to find them? So what do? So you want to find the right place to put them back in. Says the Shemiras Shabbos, that's awesome. Ein lachzinu mekamim sham iser miyan. Iser miyan. Now, why is the iser miyan not iser bayer? We're going to see miyan is more called sorting. It's a subcategory of bayer that was created by the latter paiskim, but that is also, that's very negaya. Grada someone even asked me this. He took out the wrong card. He wanted to know, can I put it back in his slot in the box? That is a problem. You got to wait till after Shabbos. There you go. Sifka, believe it or not. Says next, Memchas. Here we go. Now we start a new world of Breyer Miyad, and we're going to conclude with something that we started at the very beginning. If you remember, we saw a line about a Kli Miyuchel Breyer, and he said something about like an individualized mini Breyer utensil. And we said we're going to come back to it. Finally, we have made it. Sif Kota Memchas. Ha Breyer Oicha Mitach B'Sodas Az Afilu Breyer Min Achod Shal Oicha Mitach Min Acher Yevrar Beyad. Loi Be'ezes Kli. You're not allowed to use a Kli. Givaldik says the footnote Kuf Mem. Shamati man going to Rishon Zal. The Kli Miyuchel Ver L'Sarach Midi Mivad comes on Rishon Zal and he makes a massive chiddush. And he says, what is a Kli Miyuchel for Bayer? Not something that is Miyuchad for Bayer for right now. Let's let him develop himself. Efshar Dana Bachal is deliver Bikli Ulachain, and therefore Mutter. What's a case? Livshach Tamsis Tei Derech Mesenenet Shebipia Tiyun. You have this little. I'm in the footnote of Kaf Mem. You have this little tiyun is like a little tea kettle that you put the tea cents on the bottom, and then you want to pour out of the top. But on the top of it is a little reshet. There's a filter that holds back your leaves, and you want to pour it out. Sounds pretty bad, right? Says here it's a mutter. Why? Because it's made for individualized usage for right now. Another case. You made a cup of tea on Shabbos. How you made it, boyer, this, that, bishul, okay, clean, whatever you want to do, and then you want to take out the tea bag. Mut lohaitzi saket temin akais is mutter. Hagam shetipot tamsis, a little bit of the drops atem mitaftefes min asakit. It drips out. It's still mutter. Now, careful. He did not say you're allowed to take your tea bag and bob. To bob the tea bag, aside from the fact that you're not doing anything, that's a different story. To bob the tea bag is ulcer. Out and in, bobbing. If it doesn't come out, I'm not going to talk about people's tea bags. If then you're really doing nothing. You're just wasting your. Okay, we're not going to talk about this right now. We'll get teas. We'll get teas later. We'll discuss this. We have a lot to talk about over lunch. Now, exactly. You're mixing color. You're not doing anything else. Talk about this later. Okay, we have to finish up. Oy lahoitzi sakidim in the kais. Ukemai shemuter liver biyad. So the derech achila b'kach. Let's let it finish. We'll come back. We'll fight about tea bags another time. I'm just pointing out, he's only saying you're allowed to take it out once. You're not allowed to go up and down and up and down. Oy shemuter liklov b'sakin. You're allowed to peel with a knife. If you just go to the top of the next page, he gives you another incredible example that you might all be familiar with. The top line. That's the line. It has to be a kli that is only used for bayre right now. Meaning, in this tiyon, in this little thing, no one has ever poured out tea cents to use it for later. No one in the world has ever done that because you make the tea to eat right now. Masha Inkin, all other types of bayrer, you sift your flour for the flour for later. Let's see who can get this one. Hashimush bimalchayo sheyesh ba gargire oires. Anyone? Malchayo. Melech. Good. What's a malchaya? Good. Sheyesh ba gargire oires. Oh, you have rice in the bottom of your salt. How in the world is that your salt shaker? Every time you shake it, what's going on? You do bayrer, and it's with a kli. It's a deraisa. Zogt of Shlomo Zalman, it's mutter. Because it's done for right now. Ulam, however, we'll pick up from here.